Hello, hi. So, my name is Amanda, and I love astrology. So, let's talk about it. And by the way, before I start this video, these are just my opinions. Opinions are not facts, and please feel free to make your own interpretations. Okay, so today I want to talk about the relationship between Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. And what do the stars have to say about them? What do the stars have to say about the stars? So Blake is really, really uncommon. She is a super Virgo. And by super Virgo, I mean like all of her planets are in Virgo. She's got her Sun in Virgo, her Moon in Virgo, her Mercury in Virgo, her Venus in Virgo, and her Mars in Virgo. That is crazy. You know, for people that are skeptical about astrology, it could be like, oh yeah, your birthday makes you a Scorpio, but all of your planets are in Sagittarius, and you might, act a little bit more like a Sagittarius than a Scorpio. That's not the case with Blake. She is a true diehard Virgo. And so what does that mean? Well, Virgo, it's symbolized by a woman, is symbolized by the Virgin. And why is that? Because not all Virgos are virgins. The reason why is that in ancient Greek society, virgin women were the only women with the power to discriminate, which really tells you a lot about Virgo energy. It's very choosy, it's very picky. Another interpretation of the symbol is the woman separating wheat. So separate, this goes there, this doesn't. It's not black and white, it's black or white. Virgo is the sign of, dotting your I's and crossing your T's. Virgo, it likes to get things right. It likes to filter, it likes to categorize, it likes to classify. If you have Virgo in your chart, you probably know what this means. My moon is in Virgo, and I think that's why I love astrology, because it categorizes everything, and it requires structure. And even if you're a messy person, you can, you might not be a neat freak. If you're a Virgo, you still need a system. You still need categories. It's still seeing the world in a very filtered kind of view. So Blake, and one other thing about Virgo that I think is really, really important. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of criticism. Yikes. But it's a very unique kind of criticism. There are two signs that are ruled by Mercury, Gemini and Virgo. Gemini is critical, but in a social way. It's like, do people like me? Am I coming across right? How are these interactions going? Virgo criticism, again, it's, am I dotting my I's and crossing my T's? Are all my ducks in a row? Am I doing things right? And while that can be very difficult for the Virgo, it creates a lot of neuroticism, a lot of insecurity, some peckishness. I think it adds, Virgos are really kind of incapable of being fake. Virgos, there's so much authenticity and genuineness because they're pretty much incapable of putting on airs, because there's so much, that nervous energy and that self-scrutiny that Virgos tend to be very genuine, excuse me. And I think with Blake, who she most likely is as a person, she's probably no frills. She's probably very authentic. She's probably very natural and earthy, and it's very what you see is what you get. Another fun thing about Virgo, and then don't worry, we're about to get into Ryan, so I wrap up this because it's, oh my gosh, it's so simple. Like, usually you have to say someone's sun is here and their moon's here, and here's how they are in relationships versus communication. Blake, she's just Virgo all the way. A final note about Virgo is, so Virgo, it's an earth sign, right? Earth signs, you think practical, stable, tangible. They are very in touch with reality. They're not as, in their feelings like a water sign, or in their passions and their projects like a fire sign, or in their head and their thoughts and ideas like an air sign. Earth signs are really, okay, what's in reality? What's in the real world? Who I am? You can see who I am. It's my money, it's my body, it's, my circumstances. It's not like, oh my gosh, who I am is my soul. Should be more like a Pisces, like myself. Or who I am is how I interpret the world, analyze the world, and how I think about things. Who I am is my thoughts. That's more of an air sign way of looking at life. Earth signs it's not that complicated. Earth signs are in the material world. But here's the kicker. Virgo is, even though it's practical and it's tangible and it wants to be rooted, it wants to do things right in a way that you can see, demonstrate, and prove. Virgo is flexible. It's what's called a mutable sign. It likes to adapt, integrate, incorporate. It's not stubborn. So even though it needs to produce real, tangible, solid results, it can actually adapt fairly quickly. And that's a misconception about Virgo, as just because it's rooted so deeply in reality and in doing things right and in meticulousness doesn't mean that it's not able to incorporate new facts and ideas and thoughts. It's not stubborn. It's adaptable. So that's something very interesting about Virgo. Now let's move on to Ryan and see where he falls into here. Ryan is a bit more complicated. Not crazy complicated. I've seen charts that are a lot worse than this. I shouldn't say worse, that have a lot more going on than Ryan's. Ryan's is a very, very simple dance between head and heart. Some people have head, heart, and and action, energy, and this, that, and the other thing. No, Ryan's chart is dualities. Ryan's chart is back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because he's on the cusp of Libra, which is an air sign. Libra is beauty, charm, harmony, and Scorpio, which is a water sign, which is emotions. It's got trust issues. It's dark. It's heavy. It's power. I really like thinking of the Libra Scorpio cusp as dark beauty. And it wants to be this sociable, likable Libra. It wants, to really have its values right, partnership, but it's just so heavy. And it's, at the end of the day, it's really judging and it's critical. And not in the kind of analytical way, like, ooh, I have to get this all right. Okay, are my things in my proper categories, like a Virgo? It's critical more in a condescending kind of way. It's critical more in an arm's length kind of way. It's critical in a, do they get it right? Because I already know I got it right. Virgo, am I doing it right? I hope I'm doing it right. Libra, Scorpio, are they doing it right? Very, very important. And when you look at Ryan's Twitter, he tries to be humorous, but it's in a way that's a little bit condescending, a little edgy, right? Ryan's definitely got some edge. And how does that work with someone like Blake? Well, for their relationship, it better work for Blake because Ryan doesn't like to change. Ryan's chart, he's got starter signs, he's got cardinal signs in there. Libra's one of them. And he's got fixed signs. I like things my way, I don't want to change. So you have Blake, who's adaptive and, just trying to kind of do the right thing and trying to be this good girl. I would say Blake Lively's chart is very, very good girl. Not in a, oh my gosh, I really just want to be this nice girl, I'm so emotional, I'm so sensitive. No, not like that, but like, hey, I'm really trying to do my best, trying to have things work, trying to, be a good person in the world, trying to take care of my body, my home, my family. All very earthy, Virgo, very nice. Her chart is Might be a little bit simple, but it's really sweet, and it's really cool having all that Virgo energy going on. Ryan's is a little bit more, I'm going to decide if I like you. I'm going to assess. I'm going to judge. And it's almost a little bit more of an arrogant way of looking at the world, but not in a Leo kind of arrogance, which is, hey, if you love me, I'll love you. No. Ryan's chart is, I'm going to decide if you're worth it. But the thing that can be misunderstood about someone was Ryan's placement. So he's a Libra Scorpio, and he's got a lot of planets in both. So I think for the purposes of simplicity, I'm just going to kind of say he's a Libra Scorpio. Both their charts don't have a lot of other planets going on, at least in their personal planets, so I think this is a pretty standard compatibility between a Virgo and a Libra Scorpio cusp. I think we could just leave it at that. So for Ryan's, if you want to understand Scorpio, and you want to understand Scorpio energy, it comes down to one word: trust. Scorpio is all about trust. And it's guarded and it's distant and it has a lot of difficult trusting people. It's cynical. But why? Because when they let someone in, they let them in so intensely. You may have heard that Scorpios hold grudges and are vengeful and revenge and all these things, but it's from a different place. It's because in order for them to let someone in, it's so deep. You know, if they're wounded, they're really wounded because they don't let people in easily. So when you have a Scorpio, it's self-protective. Sometimes to a fault. A Scorpio, it's symbolized by a scorpion. And what does the scorpion have? It has that stinger on its tail, right? That curvy thing. And if it loses its stinger, it dies. A Scorpio would kill itself in being protective. So when you think about someone that's living their life as with a lot of Scorpio in them, it's really intense, it's really guarded, because underneath that is a whole ocean of emotion. Ryan, I don't think he's as heavy and emotional because he's got Libra, right? Again, he's duality, head and heart, head and heart, head and heart. Libra, I want partnerships and relationships and I want to be liked, but I want to keep it in the intellectual sphere. I want to keep it in conversation. I want to keep things in my mind. Scorpio, it's from their gut. Scorpio, it's intensity, it's passion, it's raw, it's you don't really know me. So Ryan, and the very last thing, so remember how we said that Blake is adaptable, a mutable sign? Ryan doesn't have any of that in his chart. Ryan makes the rules. And when you look at their relationship, you've got one person who wants to be the decision maker, wants to be the decider. Ryan's chart, it's all about assessment. It's all about, no, you go first. And then I'm going to make my move, and then I'm going to pounce, if he so chooses to. If it's worth it, you know. If he wants to even bother, if you're worth his time. And Blake, it's interesting because she's not a rock. She's, she doesn't have fixed signs in her chart. It's flexible, it's adaptive, but it's steady in a very self-contained kind of way. So it's hard to say who's really the anchor here. I think you have two individuals that are trying to operate in the world a little bit at arm's length and trying to kind of, manipulate the world and have a sense of control. A sense of control here, if that makes sense. And it's hard to say who's really tying them down. It's hard to say who's holding down the fort. Blake's not going anywhere. Blake's chart's steady and stable and consistent, but it's almost would rather cling to someone else than have someone cling to them. And Ryan, he's picky. So it might be like, hey, you can cling on to me some days, but not others. You know, sometimes sure, I'm here, I'm steady, I'm Mr. Cool. And other days, ooh, I'm gonna be cool-headed. I'm gonna detach. Or some days I'm gonna be moody. So I'm not sure if Ryan Reynolds is really the best anchor for her. So I wonder about their relationship. What are they orbiting around? Because you don't want to orbit around your superiority, your judgment of other people. Because that's what they seem to share in common, is a little bit of elitism in their worldview. So that's my take. Again, doesn't mean that these are just my opinions. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right take. You can look at their same charts, see their planets. It's all publicly available information, and you might have a different spin on it. And if so, just let me know, because I'm always learning. Thank you.